But that was we swearing that if I ever told anybody about what had happened or what was happening, I was going to die. Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new on here, my name is Tonia, and in today's video I'm going to be sharing with you guys an experience that I had in Abuja, Nigeria in 2011. So I just finished high school the previous year and I just moved to Abuja to live with my uncle with the intention of looking for a job and saving up money to go to school because I sponsored myself through school. So in one of my quests to look for a job, I'd gone to this popular market in Abuja called Market. After my job hunt, I went to the bus stop and was trying to go back home. And this man walked up to me with a paper, clearly trying to look for an address. He had an accent. He was like, I remember vividly, the first thing he said was, "Mame." He said, "Mame, I was looking for this address. I just came from Cameroon and I brought laptops, I brought gold, I brought so many things, and I was supposed to go to this address, so I don't want to go into the wrong hands. Please help me. I see that you're a very good person. That's why I come to you." And I just opened my mouth and told this guy, "I'm sorry, but I don't know this address that you're looking for." And that was it. I'm not even kidding you guys. Like, from the moment I spoke to that guy, everything about me was channeled to do only what this guy wanted me to do. It was as if I was no longer me, but as if I was being controlled. Honestly, the things that happened after that time were things that a normal human being would consider abnormal. But yeah, you guys get the point. Just to tell you how stupid everything was, before I know it, a bus pulled up. Then buses were very popular, so a bus pulled up and he was like, "Please, I should come into the bus and help him look for the address." But I didn't even question this guy. I just hopped on the bus and we started driving. We got to this uncompleted building. This is another red flag, right? First of all, I jumped into an unknown bus with an unknown man going to an unknown place. Does that seem normal? Then we get to this uncompleted building, another red flag. Uncompleted, guys. This house was unpainted, uncemented. It was barely roofed. It was roofed, but there was no ceiling. You get the point. There were no furnitures, nothing. It was a plain, uncompleted building with a long bench. That was all. And a lot of bags. If you're African, you might probably know this bag called Ghana Must Go, but I'll put it on the screen for you guys to see the bag that I mean. There were so many of those bags with blue papers in them, and there were four men in this uncompleted building. Just me. And they told me to sit down at the bench that was the only furniture in that whole uncompleted building. I sat down there looking so scared. Something in me was telling me that I wasn't acting in my own accord. And from this point, you're going to understand the reason why. This strange man that I was just meeting for the very first time in my life started telling me the story of my life. This man told me that every single time that I bathed, my bar soaps falls on the floor. And I was shook because at that point in time I was struggling with this particular thing where my bar soap will be falling on this bathroom that we share with two other tenants, which is super gross. And it made me so angry every time. I'm like, why can't I just have my bath in peace without my bar soap falling? Now this guy gave me a spiritual background to that. He told me that every single time that bar soap fell on the floor, that I bent down to pick that bar soap up, I dropped a little bit of my star. That's my destiny. Whatever is bright about me, whatever is good about me, I will drop that thing down before a bit of that thing down. So as more often as it was happening, I was dropping everything good about me, and at a point in time I was going to totally become useless. That was the plan of the person who was doing that to me. And he told me this person was like somebody that I knew. At this point in time, you guys, you can imagine the fear. And then he went ahead to tell me so many things, which if I wanted to say in this video is going to be way too long. I believed him because everything he was saying was things that were happening to me currently. But the only thing is that he explained them in a spiritual way. He told me he was a pastor, blah, blah, blah. Now, look at it. How do we go from me helping a man to look for an address to being in the presence of 4 men to being told the story of my life? They didn't just connect. It didn't make sense. But still at this point in time, I didn't scream, nothing. I was still sitting here like somebody that was being controlled. And then from him telling me about my life to we taking an oath. You guys, you see the whole thing. It makes no sense. Now this guy said that I should spit on this side of my hand, and when I did, he put his hand on it and turned it around, and that same spit appeared here. I don't know if there's any scientific explanation to that. If anybody knows, please let me know in the comment section. But till today, I've been trying to figure out how that thing happened. That was we swearing that if I ever told anybody about what had happened or what was happening, I was going to die. That was the oath I took. And then remember those bags I told you about that were laying around in that empty, uncompleted building? They were filled with some blue things. So he brought one of it out, and this foamy liquid, and brought this tiny liquid thing in a bottle, dropped it in the water, and washed the blue thing in it, and it turned into money. 200 naira note was what it turned into. And he gave it to me and told me, all of those bags you see there have this blue thing in it, and we can wash it and change your life. And I'm like, okay, how did we get here? But anyways, then they went ahead to tell me that, but that little liquid in a bottle that they dropped into that water to make it wash off the blueness from the money is a liquid that they use in embalming dead people, and that is very expensive to find, and that this is the only last drop that they have. So for them to be able to wash this whole money, they are going to need me to bring more money for them to go buy this liquid thing. How does that even make any sense? You have all of this bag filled with money, and you're asking me to bring money for you to buy the liquid to wash money. It makes no sense. If you're this rich, you should have been able to buy just a little liquid, wash the as much money as you need to buy the liquid that you need to wash the rest, right? But still, your sister did not think anything was wrong still at this point. In fact, I was too overwhelmed with fear to even question anything that was going on. And so the man told me that they did so many other things to me that I honestly can't say in this video. Nothing sexual, okay? Nothing sexual. But they scared me. They messed up with my mind, okay? Let me even blow your mind. They told me that if I go back home, I should check these certain places that I was going to see money that my uncle had hidden. Mind you, my uncle was in charge of something. It's like those who are Nigerians or Africans would understand, but we call it contribution or ajo. It's a system of saving money where like 10 people will gather certain amount of money, big amount of money per month. And whenever that money is complete, they will give it to one member. And then they will do it same thing the next month and give it to one member. And it goes as high as any amount at all. So at that point in time, my uncle had so much money at home hidden in different parts of the house because he didn't trust the bank enough to keep people's money safe. Stupid, but it is what it is. So they told me to go back home and that I was going to see all this money hidden in all of these places. And they told me if I tell anybody about this, I was going to die. I shouldn't even speak to anybody. I should just go home, pick all those money, sell anything that I can sell, and bring the money to them. They collected my wallet, They took out all the money in the wallet at the moment that I had in my wallet then, and just gave me enough to get back home. They asked me where I lived, and I told them, and they knew how much was going to take me there. So they left only that money in my purse. They held back my purse, which had passports, all of those important information. I always had two phones. I had a small phone and always a big phone. So they took one of the phones and left me with just one that they could contact me with. So I left that place and I hopped on the bus that they directed me to hop and went back home. Packed all this money from everywhere that they told me it was going to be. The money was there. Mind you, these people don't know me from anywhere. So they were obviously using something like voodoo to see or know things about me. So I went to the house. I packed all of this money. And my neighbor was asking me, why are you acting like this? Why are you, I didn't even answer her. I just mind your business was the level I was on. So I packed all this money and I went back to the place. On reaching to that place, mind you guys, I was fasting on that day. I was fasting 6 for 12. And my plan was to go back home and eat. But it was now around 4 p.m. I'd still not eaten because of the things that I was obviously going through. So at that point in time, I was still fasting. And I feel like that was what saved me. So if anybody ever tells you there's no God, you better tell that person to get behind the Satan, because God does exist. So when I got to the gate of this place, I saw this woman who I knew from nowhere, who knew me from nowhere, just standing there. And she said, "What are you doing here?" I couldn't tell her. I told her if I couldn't tell her. She said, "Why not?" And I told her I just couldn't tell her, and that she should leave my way, that I need to go now and give this money to these people because I didn't want to die. And she was like, "Nobody's going to kill you. Just tell me what is happening." And I just busted into tears and I started telling her that I packed all my uncle's money. I'm trying to go give to these people, and that if I don't do it, they're gonna kill me. They know everything about me, blah blah blah. And this woman told me, "Go back home. Nobody's going to kill you. You're not going to die. You are being controlled." So I was right all along. They were controlling me. From the moment that I spoke to them, that was me receiving whatever that they had planned for me. So it doesn't work if you just keep your mouth shut and walk away. That was what I learned. But I opened my mouth to say, "I don't know this address." That was it. They just need you to say something. Just something, anything. And the thing will start working. And she told me, "You're being controlled. Nobody's gonna kill you. You're not going to die. They just tell you that to scare you so that you're going to do what they want you to do." And she told me, "Go back home right now. That same thing that is happening to you has happened to me before, and it has happened to a lot of other people. And you always get caught when you don't know about it. So go back home. Nothing is wrong with you." I started crying so much. She helped me cross my way to the other side of the road and put me on the next bus, and I left back home. My phone, my purse, everything that they had was still with them. And just so you know, if I had taken that money to them, they will never have stopped. They will make me sell everything that I own or everything that my uncle owns so that they can keep getting more money until they think they've drained me enough. That's how it happens. So many Nigerians have lost a lot of money to this con artist, this voodoo people. And I was just one of those lucky people who God helped, more like. Until today, I'm so grateful to God, because a lot of people lose their lives while trying to do these things. For example, after they were done with me, how was I sure they were not going to kill me? Because I'd seen their faces, I knew them and could identify them. And just today, I'm here to share this story, and also as a testimony. If you're out there, be careful, be safe, and always be prayerful. I feel like if I wasn't fasting on that day, it was probably going to be different. But God saw my heart. He knew that I was not selfish. And I honestly didn't want any money that he had doing there, because I'm not the kind of person that wants to get rich quick. That is not my system. I want to make money in a way in which I can proudly explain to people that I got this money through this. Not the money that I can't explain, money that just came from nowhere. So that was not my kind of person. If you've ever experienced anything like this before, do share your story in the comment section. And I am so glad that I was one of those people who made it out. And I'm grateful to God for that. He owns my life, and I know until He's ready, I'm not going anywhere. So thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Ciao.